Hey, on today's podcast, I want to talk about something that I wish somebody had told me when I started getting into the music business, and that's how to face rejection. You're going to want to hear this. Let's go. I spent the last 14 years playing over 1,000 shows, touring 22 different countries, and become a top 40 Billboard charting artist. I fired my record label to go out on my own as an independent artist to market and release my own music, selling thousands of albums and millions of streams. The question I always get is, how did I do it without a label and sell even more music? This podcast is here to show you the way. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my music business and a loyal fan base. So hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to this, however you're listening to this. I hope this finds you doing well. It's Monday where I am, morning, just going for a walk. Got to hit the dentist in a little bit. And I don't like going to the dentist, man. I started using this automatic toothbrush again, a machine one, because I find it does a better job cleaning junk off. But because I floss every freaking night, and yet sometimes I still have issues with my teeth. I don't know if it's hereditary. I pray over my teeth all the time. I brush them, but, so I'm not a big fan of the dentist. But as long as he doesn't beat me up, because I got to record some vocals after this, I got to re-record a song. We're trying to get a feature on a song, and the guy couldn't do it. Well, it's not that he couldn't do it. It's that there's a song that he already did a song with another friend that had had the exact same title of the song, and so he didn't want to do that. And it's funny because and this is what I'm talking about today, is actually facing rejection. I wasn't even planning on telling this story, but first of all, my wife always laughs at me because this person that I've been listening to, I'm just going to leave nameless for now, is doing really, really well in the TV film placements. And I love the music, and my daughter loves it. It's just really good. It's inspiring, and sometimes I listen to it just to get ideas and stuff. And so I've reached out to this person before, and we weren't able to write together. And but he didn't say no, and so I reached out about this song. It was just like, hey, do you want to sing on it? And he didn't respond right away, and so I said, hey, I just messaged back, hey, dude, I know you're busy. I don't even know if you had a chance to hear it, and I was just kind of like, just let me know, no pressure if you can't do it. Maybe we just need to get in a room and write a brand new one together, because this one was kind of already written, even though to get the feature, I would have offered publishing and split the master and everything like that. But anyways, he said no, and it was rejection, whatever, it's fine. But the cool thing is, it was just well, let's just get in the room and write one together. And so now we're trying to schedule a time, to write together. And, so we're planning for that in the next month or two. And so that's going to happen. And, I could get my nose all out of joint and, oh, it turned me down and whatever. It's no, it didn't turn me down. It turned down that song, and that's okay. And that's a part of it. And we got to take that kind of attitude with everything. I could easily get my nose at a joint about so many things, and it's all about having that perspective of okay, well, that didn't work. Well, let's see a different way of working around this and making it happen, and looking at the positive as opposed to the negative. You rejected me, you said no, and we crawl into a corner and we give up. And my wife, again, is always amazed that I will just seriously reach out to almost anybody and get a response. It's not because I'm famous or not because I've already had success. Sure, that helps, but I've been doing this since day one, just reaching out to people and trying to get, their help or work with them. And it's always amazing to me that they actually say yes a lot of the time. Sure, I get tons of no's all the time, but I'm willing to step out there and face the no's in hopes of getting the yeses and working with great people. And I'm not some pain seeker. It doesn't feel good getting told no, or it's not going to work out. That's not fun. But I just know that that's part of the journey. And even though there's going to be a lot of no's along the way, I know there's going to be a bunch of yeses too. And this has been the same thing even with radio as of late. I've sent a couple emails to some radio stations, and I'm going to get my buddy to help do it. I got a dude who's going to help me, reach out. We're just going to bring that in-house because, man, it's just not worth it paying a radio promoter thousands of dollars to, and what they do is they take you on, plus they take a whole bunch of other clients on. So it's like when they're pitching my songs, they're also pitching other artists' songs. And so you're in competition. Whereas if I bring it in-house and I have my guy start to build the relationships and they get to know us, it's kind of like we're almost this like little mini label. And there's an artist I really respect that has done extremely well, Christian hip-hop artist who's built a massive label, which is Lecrae. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not, but he's built an empire, And I remember when he like just first started, just indie artist, indie label, and I remember there wasn't much love on the radio front there, and now they totally get that love on the radio, and that's because they kept on building the relationships, and stayed in the game for such a long time that they've built that trust, They stacked all those rejections over the years on top of one another until they've got this massive platform to stand on. And if you don't think people still face rejection at that level, man, you better believe they still do. It doesn't even matter, To be honest, the more successful you get, just the opportunities get bigger, and then the rejection opportunities get bigger. So it's one of those things where you just gotta understand that this is a part of the journey. This never ends. So if you just got turned down by something, maybe they didn't have you onto the show, or they screwed up your opening slot, or moved that around, or just didn't book you, or producer just says they don't have room, or you've been turned down by a graphic designer, or whoever it is, like it's a manager, booking agent, like label, like it doesn't even matter. There's no's. I've got no's in all those areas. People just saying, hey, but that's where you got to keep coming back, and you got to show that you're a fighter. You got to show that working with you is worth their time. And I've said this before, but it's kind of like they're like, well, how do I know if this artist is really legit? Like, how do I know if you're legit? How do I know if you're just not like just squawking for a little bit and then you're just going to give up on me? And so they want to see if you're going to keep squawking. They want to see if you're going to keep showing up and keep and really fight for this thing and fight for their attention. Why should they just give you attention? Oh, just because you're going to work hard on your dream this week? Well, how do I know if you're going to stick with it with the long term? Why should I invest my time or my money and my effort with you? That's what a lot of these people are thinking. And so you got to prove that you're in this for the long haul. And you got to show by your actions, your tenacity, your attitude. Having a good attitude will open more doors for you than anything else. And the way you respond. Like, what if I was just a douchebag to some of these people? It's like, and don't even respond. They say no. And then I'm like, I just like, like whatever. And maybe even say something negative, like, or just don't respond at all. But what I would suggest you do is, okay, thanks. Well, I'll stay in touch in the future and keep you posted of what else we got going on. Or you could say, hey, is it okay if we keep you posted as things grow, because we're working on a lot of stuff? Is it all right if we check in from time to time? It's like, whoa, okay, cool. Like, you're asking for permission, or or could and any advice you can give us as we're growing on this thing? What would you suggest we do? Can you give me something to work on until I can get to that level, so that I can work with your management company, your label, your booking agent, or if you're trying to hire someone to work your song or whatever, what do we got to do to get our songs better? What do you think's missing? To just try and elevate it, right? So that you can come back swinging and eventually work with somebody. Because what I'm realizing more and more is that no one wins a war alone. It takes a team of people. It takes other people. I don't know how many people I'm working with on this new record, but a lot of people. And I'm working with a lot of people to launch it so that it gets put out there well and done well. I know I can't do it alone. I'm not a one-man band, okay? Even though I hire my bandmates and my drummer, guitarist, and bass player, etc. I'm yes, a solo artist, but I'm not a one-man band to move this thing forward. And it's funny, it reminds me in Japan when we were blowing up, they called me the one-man Linkin Park or whatever, But I didn't do it alone, and I needed a team, and you need a team too. And speaking of this, overcoming rejection, if you haven't read my book Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear, think the first chapter talks about courage, the willingness to step out, okay, and face rejection. And then chapter 2 talks about perseverance and willing to keep pushing even after you face the rejection. And then I talk about a fighter's mindset and being able to keep fighting for this dream. And then I talk about the discipline and the attitudes and what you have to do on a daily routine. And then we talk about vision and dreams and goals and setting goals for your life and going for it. And I want to send you a free copy of my book, Fighter. You can get it when you go to Fanbase University and you join. And that's my monthly coaching program where I coach you on the 12th and 24th of every month via live video chat. You can ask me as many questions as you want. I had one artist out there that was hungry. I think she's hungry. She asked me a lot of questions, and there are a lot of good questions too, and she's taking action on them. And you could be on there too asking questions, and I can be looking at your stuff and giving you pointers. Plus, you get access to all my courses. All right, this has just been blowing up. Everybody's freaking out about this. I told my Fanbase U members on the last call that they're getting all my courses, and they're just like, "What the? Oh my gosh! Thank you, Chris." And so I hope you enjoy that. I hope you appreciate that. And once you join, you're going to love it. You're going to love the coaching calls. There's no commitment, because it is a monthly fee. But you can quit anytime. There's no contract or whatever like that. And but you just get access to so much training. And then, of course, the coaching, which I think is the most valuable part, especially for the cost of it. The first music coach I hired was $800 a month, and that is not what we're charging. We're doing a fraction of that, okay? So that you can get help and you can get your questions answered. And it's people that surround themselves with other people that are like hungry. I see it all the time, even with myself. It's those that show up and ask the questions and then do the work. Ask the questions, take the answers, do the work. So anyways, have an amazing day, have an amazing week. Hopefully I'll see you on the next coaching call, and I'll remind you that a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. Peace. So if you're a struggling artist and you're just trying to figure out this music industry, you want to go full-time with your music, you want to get noticed on social media, or learn how to launch an album, an EP, or just get your music more marketed out there, I want to encourage you to check out my coaching program called Fanbase University. Every single month, I jump on the phone 2 times with my students and I coach them and I teach them how to market their music, how to get noticed, how to handle booking agents, record labels, and just get their music out there. Also, you get access to exclusive training, you get interviews with music industry professionals. If you want to find out more and not do this on your own, not struggle, because I've wasted thousands of dollars on my career and now I want to coach other artists. Check out my program, fanbaseuniversity.com, or click the link below to find out more info.